Hi, so today on the Diabetic Dog Project, I want to talk about glucose meters. So when your dog has diabetes, you actually have to check their glucose the same way that a person does. You have to use a meter, you have to use these little strips, you have to use a lancet to prick their skin and get a little drop of blood. So when you go to the store to buy a meter, if you've never had to do this before, it's kind of intimidating because you see all these different brands of meters, they're all different prices. You see all these little things and you're just like, I don't even know what I need. So the first meter that we bought was actually the AccuCheck Avia Plus meter. And we bought it because when you read the description on the box, it seems like it's one of the best, right? And I'm sure it is. It doesn't use that much blood. It has great description of everything that it does. It uses a tiny sample of blood to actually check. And we thought, awesome, everything is all in this little kit. We don't need to buy anything else, all right here. And Walgreens had a coupon. So we actually only paid $10 for the entire box. We thought, great, we're saving so much money. So we get home and the kit actually includes the meter, and it includes a lancet with the extra lancet tips in it. Let me get it out. With extra lancet tips in it that you put in and it stabs and that's what you get the blood with. And we thought, great, everything's all here. So we went to go check Wiley's blood and we realized we needed to use these little strips that you have to actually put into the meter, and that's what actually tests it. And we thought, awesome, where are they? Great. And we look in the box, we thought maybe they were in like a little bag or something. Nope, they weren't in the kit. So we thought, okay, well that seems rather odd. Why wouldn't you include just some sample strips, right? Just a few to get you going. So we go to Walgreens and we go to buy the strips. Well, these strips for the AccuCheck are essentially $2 each. For a small thing of 25 strips, it is about $50. And that is a lot of money. So to spend $2 each time you want to test your dog's blood glucose is a lot of money. Especially when half the time the strips will error out on you because you didn't get enough blood or you bent the strip a little bit while you're trying to hold their ear. You go through a lot of strips. So $2 a strip is a lot to do. So we thought, okay, no, we're not even doing this one. We're not even gonna try it. There has to be something cheaper. So when we were at the store, we looked at what were the cheapest strips there were. And the ones that were the cheapest were actually the Walgreens brand for the Walgreens meter. So we bought the Walgreens meter. It's made by True Metrics. We bought this. It was a kit too. It had the meter, it had a lancet, it had some sample lancet. Again, it had no strips whatsoever in the box. So we bought the strips separate, which for 25 strips, it was about $25, which still is expensive, but not as expensive as $2 a strip. So we bought that and we worked with those strips and with that meter, and it's been really good. So one of the things we also wanted to see was how could we get cheaper strips? Is there something even cheaper? So we looked around online because when it comes to glucose meters, they're kind of like printers. You know, you can buy a printer really, really cheap, but the ink is what really costs the most. So you kind of work backwards. You look at what's the cheapest ink for the printers that are available that are on sale, and you buy that printer, and then that ink is the cheapest one. So you know you've at least kind of mitigated that cost. Same thing with these little meters. You know, I don't mind spending $40 on a meter if the strips are only gonna be like 25 cents at each. So I looked online, and actually the True Metrics brand meter was one of the better ones that had better reviews. So one of the things that we found online that's pretty common is you can find a lot of reviews of different meters, like AccuCheck has some really good reviews about it. There's some other meters that have really bad reviews. True Metric in itself has pretty good reviews as far as people thinking if it's accurate or not. Apparently Walgreens had a brand prior to this one that they were using that people liked better, but this one, True Metric, still seems to have really good reviews. So then we looked at, well, what are the cheapest strips we can buy? And the True Metric strips are actually really cheap. We bought 200. We got 4 little vials of these. They were 200 total for about $26. So you can't beat that. We are covered. And the expiration date, side note, the expiration date isn't until 2018. So a lot of times you can find cheap strips available for a lot of these higher end, better meters, but you end up getting your strips, and you end up seeing that, you know, the expiration date on them is, you know, in the next 3 months, and you're thinking, well, they're about to expire. Are they even that good now? Where have these been all this whole time? So we're actually able to get these really cheap online for 200 strips for $26. So we're gonna stick with this brand. And one of the reasons why I wanted to kind of talk about these meters is that, like I said before, you actually find a lot of reviews on, you know, are these meters any good? But what you really don't seem to find, at least I couldn't find, I'm sure it's out there somewhere, but what I couldn't really find was any information on what's the cheapest meter, what's the most cost effective, you know, what's the most bang for your buck. And with people, a lot of times all these supplies are actually covered by your insurance, so you don't pay too much attention. But when you're paying 100% out of pocket for all the costs, you really want to do what's the most cost effective. And we actually found that the True Metrics Walgreens brand, the price isn't that bad. I think the whole thing is about 20 bucks. But if you buy the strips online off of Amazon, you can get about 200, like I said, for about $26. If you have to buy them at Walgreens, they're about $1 a strip, which is still heads and tails cheaper than everything else. So as far as glucose meters go, we completely recommend the True Metrics brand. And that's just been our experience, so that if you're diagnosed with diabetes or your dog is diagnosed with diabetes, just know that these are probably the most economical solution that you can find. So we hope you enjoyed this video, and we hope to see you next week. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, like our Instagram and our Facebook, and check out our store.